right, good morning. It is 6:18, and this morning I wanted to do a little bit of a reflection of my experience at Exodus Summit. Exodus Summit was definitely better than I could have imagined. I joined Exodus Summit last year, but if I'm being honest, I didn't really know to um like block off time for it. And so a lot of the sessions I said, oh, okay, I'll watch later. And just like they said, a lot of them I did not watch later. Um, and it was so much information at one time. Last year, I felt like it was a little overwhelming. This year, since I blocked off time and I was present for each part of it, it was a lot easier for me to just go ahead and participate and enjoy it. So I'm glad that I did that, and I'm going to start doing that every year going forward, especially because I know not all of us who've attended Exodus Summit are intending to move abroad or was even considering moving abroad until maybe hearing the summit. So I'm going to eat my breakfast, but I also want to spend a little time going through the notes that I took and processing what is it going to look like to use the stuff, because Stephanie and Rashida Dow are very um, specific and intentional about encouraging us to take action. So what does that look like, and then what are my to-dos that I'm going to do afterwards? That's pretty much how I think this is going to flow. So if you want to Exodus Summit, or if you're considering buying the replays for Exodus Summit, this video is for you. Okay, so first things first, if you joined me last week for my little pre-event, then you would know, or if you joined me during the summit, you would know that I suggested that one of the ways that I like to process or take notes about things is to write things on post-its so that I don't have to organize things as I go. Which, don't get me wrong, I still had my handy dandy notebook with me when I did it, but I wanted I knew that I was going to want to take a step back and look at some of the themes that have stood out to me, because there were pretty much 7 steps to moving abroad. And there were some steps that I was going to be more into or like be ready to take action on, and other steps that I'm not necessarily ready to take action on or that I just didn't care about as much. So, yeah, I put all of those on post-its, and now I am going to put them up on here and then reorganize them. So let me read some of them out. Like, some of the notes were like, restore me to a pace of rest. And I think that was from Octavia Rahim's session. And so pretty much like as I have gone through these or wrote these down, the different sessions gave me different things to think about. And I just wrote them down so that I could keep them. Some of these I'm gonna journal more about. But no matter what, I this is me getting a chance to step back and look at them and decide what I want to do with it. Because we got so much information. If we don't take a step back to kind of figure out what you want to do with it, more than likely you'll end up not doing anything with it. And also this is gonna let me know what sessions I want to rewatch. I can already tell you, hands down, one of the sessions I am definitely going to rewatch is Sarah Clark's session. Because that almost brought me to tears. I think hearing her story about how um she moved to Granada, and it was so refreshing for her, and so many of the dreams that she already wanted for her life manifested because she took herself out of this context of the American dream and just kind of built her own dream. And anybody who's already been watching this channel knows I am all about that life. All about that life. Whatever is going to help you manifest what's important to you rather than just being stuck in this stupid rat race is everything that I love. So, um, I even wrote her name down, Sarah Clark, How to Manifest When Um, let me see. Oh, I missed some words. How to manifest it. Oh, that's what it was. How to manifest it when things don't go right. Or what when manifestation doesn't seem like it's working. I would love to have a conversation with her. So I'm probably going to put some of these topics are going to end up being YouTube videos and collaborations with some of these amazing women so that we can make some content together. Because I love doing collaborations. That's how I ended up speaking at Exodus Summit. Okay, let's see. What other sessions? I would say my top three sessions was number one was Sarah Clark's. Um, Let me see. What was my second favorite session? Second favorite session was probably co-living. Yeah, I'm gonna say co-living. Maybe because I've been co-living in some shape or form for, gosh, since 2013. I guess the last 9 years. Um, so that's a thing. And I also believe in co-living. I think that living alone is overrated. I think it's very easy to get stuck in the monotony um, of just going to work and coming home when you're alone without intentional relationships. It's one thing to have like a work relationship, but that's not intentional relationship. That's for I work with you, so I'm more than likely put up with you, unless it's like a business partner or somebody you want to hang out with. But yeah. So as you can see, I got quite a few post-its here. I'm gonna keep putting them up. Um, and then I think I'm gonna read through them, and then I'm gonna move some things around, and then I think I'm gonna pick another color, and that's how I'm gonna decide what the themes are for each of the sections. Um, so yes, okay, so number one session was Sarah Clark's, and then number two was co-living. Um, I also really enjoyed Libria Jones' session, but not it's interesting as I have been an entrepreneur for 5 years now. And one of the things I've recently been processing and talking with myself about is I've always kind of had my mindset is like, oh, if this doesn't work, I could just go back. And I think the, I think that can, let me rephrase that. I've noticed that when I have that mindset, I am like 90% in, but I wasn't like all in. And being an entrepreneur really takes you being all in. Like you kind of have to believe there's no going back. There's no other way because this this ish is hard and it takes time to build. It takes time to gain traction. And so I'm listening to her session. And even though I'm listening to it, I had just recently been processing these things. And instead of being like, oh, okay, maybe this is what I need to finally get my plan B in motion, I actually was like, you know what? I recognize that even though this is a cool opportunity, I think this is one of those opportunities where it's not about me using the opportunity myself, but connecting other people to the opportunity. And I will say that, let me say that a different way. I always have believed that not every opportunity that comes in your face is for you. There are opportunities where we should say no because the vision that we've created for our life is taking us in this direction, and this quote unquote good opportunity is taking us in that direction. And it ends up, even though it's a good opportunity, it ends up being a distraction. And instead of allowing this to become a distraction again from being all in, from being that 100% in on my business, going hard, learning the different things that I need to learn, like putting the work in, putting the mindset in, like allowing myself to fully just be present in what I'm about to do. Yeah, instead of letting myself being distracted from that. I listened to the session. I know someone that it would very much help. And I'm looking at how I could share that information with her rather than allowing myself to be distracted from being 100% in on my business. So you might be saying, well, why did I even think it was a good opportunity if I'm in my business? Because listen, getting stable income as a new business owner, even once you're 5 years in, can still take some time. And I'm in that place where I'm like right at the cusp, like I'm getting so close. But it's also hard to be in that tension. It's a tense spot to be. Um, and and I've also found that since I kind of had in my mind to just be like full in, this is it, this is what I'm doing. I'm not having a plan B anymore. I'm not trying to find another option. That it's been easier to just wake up and be grounded in that and not be distracted by trying to find another job. Because anybody who's looking for a job will tell you trying to find a job is a full-time job on top of your regular job. And when you're already doing your business, plus working in somebody else's business, but you're looking for a full-time job, it is very easy to get distracted from it's very difficult to make sure you're prioritizing what's actually important to you rather than doing all the other things that just keep you afloat. You don't want to continue to just keep yourself afloat. You want to be swimming, you want to be moving, like you want this to be going somewhere. So that was a lot. I don't know if that makes sense. Remember, this is a processing video. This is not me necessarily trying to be super coherent in every single thought. So hopefully, that was still interesting to you or still helpful. Let me say it that way. All right, also too, I think I could take this off. I know it's early and I just got out of bed, but the beauty of not having hair is that I'm done already. Yes. Or wait, is it like this? Okay, cool. All right, so I got just about all my post-its up. So the other thing that I did was I didn't push myself to try to take notes on every single session. There was just some sessions that I knew I was like, okay, good. This is naturally stuff that I gravitate to. And I know those are the things that are super important to me. So, like, at the end of day two, Saturday, when there was like almost three sessions back to back about healthcare abroad and being very concerned about that, I recognized I don't care about healthcare abroad. I have an amazing naturopath that has already been showing me how to use um, natural healing and that I can book sessions with her. And guess what? They're not going to pay for it anyway. Um, so I've already kind of had my own way of managing that here in the States. And not only that, living since I've lived abroad before, healthcare abroad is more accessible financially anyway. Honestly, you can self-insure yourself abroad rather than feeling like you have to have this this crazy expensive or actually it's still cheaper abroad anyway, but trying to have a big healthcare plan. So yeah, that was one of the sessions that I was like, maybe not as crazy worried about. Um, let me see. I want to go back really quick. Um, what other sessions did I really love? Actually, instead of doing that, let's just keep going here. So let me show you what this looks like up close. Now, obviously, I wrote with a pen, so it's not going to be like the you're not really going to be able to read it, especially because it's kind of in cursive and scribbly because I'm trying to like get my notes down quick. But like, restore me to a pace of rest. Who we were before the world told us who we have to be. That needs to be a video. Ooh. So, yeah, I need to probably both of these are going to be videos that I want to talk about. Um, Dreams would not be Oh, this was another good quote. So a lot of these I would say are really good quotes. Um, Dreams would not be in you if they were not for us. Um, Breathe, envision, pray, and then vision board. I think that was from Sarah Clark's video. They're not in order anymore, and I think that's probably good because then I could just kind of look at it and pull it from there. Um, we fear losses even more than letting in our gains. Don't let your self oh here we go. This is the beauty of handwriting when you're writing fast. Don't let yourself be bound to something that will inhibit your freedom. Again, another video. Just because you become an entrepreneur doesn't mean you'll be aligned. That was actually really good from Joe's session. Joe Franco was talking about how she had built her business and she still felt unaligned. And to me, that relates very deeply back to vision. And also, too, I have to say, like a lot of this, because my passion is around vision, I tend to see that more than anything when um when I see people feeling disconnected or not sure what to do. So, um, and so many, Sarah Clark, Adelia, they specifically said the word vision because I got excited inside because it's my passion and what my business is all about, or a good part of what my business is about. Um, because I see vision in so many things, like a lot of times when we're stuck in our fear or when we're stuck in, I don't know what to do next, or when we're like, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I would say those are times where we've got disconnected from our vision, we've got distracted from our vision, we've gotten too deep in the weeds of our vision, and now we need to pull out and look at the big picture and reconnect back to what we're building. Because somehow the path has gotten wonky and we need to reset things. So, yes. So that being said, let me finish reading these out. You're not going to be able to see them. I'm just going to be okay with that. Um, to be safe enough to rest. And I love that for like a concept of moving abroad, like with the racism and all the different junk that happens here in the States. I think sometimes we don't even recognize how our body stays in, listen, dorsal sympathetic, I want to say it's dorsal, but how our nervous system stays on high all the time and making space to go where we can actually be free, which was again one of the things I loved about Sarah Clark's session. Okay. Reclaiming harmony is a part of my um reclaiming harmony with a part of myself. That was another good one. This is not instant gratification. None of this process, whether it's vision casting, whether it's moving abroad. Honestly, I think most of the things that we truly want in life are not instant gratification. And that's why we get so separated, or that's why it's so easy to get distracted because then we start looking for the small wins rather than holding out for the big wins. There was a study, I can't remember. I want to call, oh, the marshmallow. At first I was thinking mushroom, but it's marshmallow. There was a marshmallow study and it showed that the kids, it was like if it told some kids in the study, if you eat this, if you wait to eat this marshmallow for 2 hours, we'll give you a whole bag or something like that. But if you eat these marshmallows right now, those are the only ones that you'll get. And the kids that were able to wait for the 2 hours, they came back and well, all the kids, they came back and saw them later in life. And they could, based on the way that those kids reacted with that study, the kids who chose to wait the 2 hours, who didn't lean into the instant gratification, did better in life because they were able to maintain the discipline to hold on to, wait until for the big win rather than just settling for the little one, the small one, which was the two. the two mushrooms. So I'm not saying that in a way to say don't move abroad, but I am saying that when you create your plan, your vision, um, the different things that help you know what it's going to take to get to whatever your end game is, don't allow yourself, like, hold on to the discipline more than just the motivation. Hold on to the discipline to get you to the long game rather than just going for an easy win, because that's the distraction part. If I get back to the business, like how I was talking about being all in on the business, be all in on your dream by maintaining the discipline that's going to get you there. All right, so I know that some of these I want to be YouTube videos, but I also think some of these are also journaling prompts. Honestly, I think most of the ones that are YouTube videos are also going to be, I mean, I'm gonna have to process what I think about them in order to make videos. So that's part of the reason that I love making YouTube videos now. When I was on that, when I was doing missions, we had a blog, and the blog was so helpful because it was a practical way to get me to process and journal and then share those thoughts with other people. And I was really good for all the stuff that was going on. Because you could honestly need a therapist after work doing long-term missions. That's a whole nother topic though. Um, this would be a good video that I might want to do with Adelia. It says, what is a money mindset, attitude, beliefs about money, family, friends, and fear? Family, friends, and fear, because our fear come into our money just as much. So I'm gonna put that up here with the idea that that might be a collaboration. There was also another one. That one could probably be a collaboration. I'd love to do a collaboration with Joe. I don't know if she's that accessible. This is a video. So pretty much what I'm doing right now is I'm just organizing things. So I'm probably just gonna go ahead and do this and speed this up and make this a montage. So let me go ahead and do that. What I've done so far, I have separated things into, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven different categories. These categories I'm pretty solid on. So these are collabs that I want to pursue. This is information that I want to pass on to someone else. Um, this is a specific video that I want to talk about around money. This is a gift that I'm going to give away in my Freedom Fridays event this Friday. Um, this is going to be a video because even though I really enjoyed Elizabeth White's content, it was clear that her target audience was for older Black women, not the millennial Black women. In her mind, millennial Black women are bopping around and there's nobody that really wants a home base. And I don't, that's not true. I'm a millennial woman and that's not true for me. I still want to travel, but I also want a place to come home to. And I would love to do that in a co-living aspect. So I think I want to create a video that talks a little bit more about what that has looked like for me as someone who has co-lived since 2013. yeah, since 2013. And what it could look like going forward as someone who bops around and wants to continue to bop around, but also wants to have a home base and co-living people that they can enjoy. So yeah, I put all of those in one place because I know those are things I want to come back to. Then this group over here is my group that's like, I named it Reflections because reflections could be, I could make a YouTube video out of it. It could just be something that I journal about. It could be, I can use, like, these could manifest in a lot of different ways, and I haven't quite decided yet. So since I now have these all organized pretty well, I am going to take another second and spend some time looking at what these again and try to see if I can organize them in a way that gives me a little bit more clarity on what I want to do next with them. So let me see while I eat my breakfast. I think I did it. So now I've cleared up that section that was all over here. And let's see, there we go. That's everything. It's up here. So now I have reflections. This is probably going to be one or two videos on identity, collabs that I want to pitch to people, vision, which I'm not surprised that I have the most post-its here because, like I said, I see vision conversations and everything. So I'll figure out what kind of videos I want to make from that. These are just specific YouTube video titles that I know I want to do. Then this will be, a lot of these are ending up being like videos that I want to do because I just find inspiration and content in everything, which is not a bad thing. I never have a shortage of things to record. I have a shortage of time to record it all because I already want to do 3 videos a week and have no idea how the heck I'm going to do that, but we'll save that for another day. So this will be a video. This will be a video. These are just some resources that people talked about that I was like, oh, I want to keep those. So I have 5 different resources there. And then I already talked about this is something that I want to give to my audience for Freedom Fridays. Oh, I knew I had a money. There was I had a money one. That's probably going to be a video. But there was another post that I think I wanted to go with that. And then information that I have to pass on, that I want to pass on. Not have to. Okay, so that being said, now I need to decide what are my to-dos. What am I gonna do next with these things? The collabs, I am going to add this to my I have a spreadsheet of people that I want to collab with. And as I do research and figure out like what topic that I want to do with them, and I have more clarity of like what the collab should look like, then I send off pitches and I try to send off pitches. Today is Tuesday. I do that every Tuesday from 10 to 12 p.m. And I thought of a completely different one while I was doing this. So let me write that down. So yes, now I've got, so yes, these are going to get added into my spreadsheet so that I can start working. I can start filtering them into my workflows that I do on Tuesdays. My YouTube video topics, I have a spreadsheet for that. So I'm trying to be start figuring out my content calendar a lot earlier so that hopefully it simplifies how I want to do content. And I definitely, this is fourth quarter. I want to start figuring out how I'm going to do it for next year. So this is going to go into that so I can start uh, deciding where that's going to go in the workflow. And then these that are like specific videos, those are going to go in there as well. In addition to putting the notes, these are like points that I might want to talk about, and it might be why it ends up being more than one video. So all of these are going in that spreadsheet as well. The resources are going to go in my planner of like, I'm going to probably put them as an hour where I just take a quick glance at all of them and see if there's anything that I immediately want to take action on and get myself a little bit of understanding of what those resources are and how I might want to use them. Um, and then from that, I'm going to probably put them on my backlog. Because they're not going to be top priority right now. With the exception of Jill Club, I need to decide if I want to take action on that. I don't think I'm in a place where I could take on something that I'm learning as new right now because I have so many other new things that I'm learning. Um, so I don't know. I don't think I'm going to take advantage of that right now, but I do want to keep it in mind for when I'm ready to start learning it. I need to take action on this by Friday, so I need to put this in my calendar like today. Um, this I already have a time. I know who I want to pass that off to, and I've already reached out to her, so I will be talking with her next week. And then my reflections. These are the things that I know I want to go back and journal on. So I am going to put these in my notebook with their own page so that I can go back and reflect on them. And I'm also going to keep all of these posted. So now that they're all organized in different sections, pull out my handy dandy notebook and I am going to put them in here with writing out my to-dos so that I can take action on whatever their next steps are. So I'm gonna probably fast forward through this part too. Okay, now I got everything in my handy dandy notebook and I can start taking action on some of these things. So the pages that were for reflection, I gave each reflection its own page so that I can schedule in some time to come back and journal about them. So I have 4 pages for that. Then these are going to be a video. These are going to be a video. These are each going to be a video. This page is going to be a video. So these what I'm going to do is just move them into my laptop and get them on my board. So I could do that in a second. And then, yep, these are a video and these are a video. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and put them, this one post-it that I put like immediately on my laptop is something that I need to do in the next 24 hours. So I am going to open up my digital calendar and I'm going to schedule that. Let's schedule it for Thursday. Okay. So we've got that scheduled. Yeah. So now I'm going to start putting this in their appropriate places. I'm not going to have you watch me do that. So I'm glad that I set time aside so that I could actually be present and enjoy the sessions as they went. I think I'm going to be more likely to watch replays now, rather than like what I tried to do last year. That didn't work for me. So yeah, I'm glad that I did it this way, and I will do it this way going forward. And I think this way of like the one of the things that I really like about doing it on the post-its rather than writing notes, it really forced me to pull out what was most important to me and snippets rather than being like long-winded on my notes and then feeling overwhelmed by having to go back and read them all. So I'm sure there are sessions and things where people will go back and have a lot more details, but um for me, this was a really good way to reflect. Also, too, like I know I want to go back and watch the aging parent session. I was actually driving home from my house sit, so I didn't get to see that one live. So I want to go back and watch that, and I want to watch it with my mom. I want to watch the two about schooling kids. I want to watch that with my god family. Because it was one of the things that my sister asked me about, and I didn't have the answer because I don't have kids. So there's that. Um, so also too, like taking this time and having them on post-its and being able to kind of process it a quick down and dirty way makes it easier for me to decide what my next steps are. So I'm glad that I did it this way as well. Exodus Summit was a win. You guys, I am very blessed that this was the second summit that I've ever spoke at. And this summit is all of my target audience, Black women that have things that they want to do in life and know that they want a better quality of life for themselves and are trying to figure out how they're going to make that happen. And as so many of the amazing speakers said, vision is a huge, huge part of that. And it felt so affirming to be to my work and what I do because as a life coach, people are always want the guarantee. They want something that they feel like they can touch and feel. And your life is something you can touch and feel, but not everybody connects how a life coach can help them accomplish that. And so I felt like the summit really affirmed how creating vision for your life, where you want to take it, and then helping you understand what resources you need to get those things. Um, yeah, it was really affirming for me to be a part of that. So yes, that's why I have so many Post-it notes about vision because I was like, "Yes, yes, say it. Exactly. Come on, say it again." Like I was getting hyped for all of those things. Um, so yeah, now taking action on that. If you are a person that you're like, "Wow, I know that I got so much information and I got a lot of things to start with, but I'm still like, now I have so many ways to get started that I don't know how to get started." Or you're still like, I don't have enough clarity to still get started yet. Either way, either one of those situations, then I would love for you to set up a intensive with me. It's a 90-minute coaching session where we can talk about all the different things that you pulled out from your time at Exodus Summit and we can talk about what it looks like to create actual next steps. So like I told you from the organization that I did, I know that how I'm gonna take my next steps on my video. They're gonna get moved into my spreadsheet and then I'm going to start organizing what dates that I'm going to record them so that I can then start recording them. Like that's the kind of practical work that we would do in this 90-minute session so that by the time you come out of the session, you know what your next steps are, that you can start moving forward with the content that you got from Exodus Summit. So um, yeah, if you're still here, I am Rashida, your dream strategist. I was very honored to speak at Exodus Summit this year, and I wanted to do this video because um, since Exodus Summit is a huge part of like the next steps that I see happening after creating a vision, I felt like this would help us see how everything comes together in the line. Um, So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I would love to get on a session with you, get on a call with you. So the link is going to be in the description. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Uh, Go to the link, uh, book your call. We get on the call. We create your next steps together. You take action. That's what it is. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch me process today. And I hope you got some good tips on how to process your experience at Exodus Summit too. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.